Zapraszam na prezentację SeenThis, kolejnego partnera naszego startupu w ramach współpracy z Nextech Now, naszym scale-upowym programem. Hi Truls, I'm gonna give the voice to you. Are we okay with the microphone and everything? I think we can hear you, I hope.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, everything is okay. So welcome to our Brands for Good event and the virtual stage, and the attention is yours.
Dzień dobry, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Truls Neraal, and I'm the Global Account Director representing SeenThis and our global team. So first of all, I would like to thank you for the invitation, of course. It's a pleasure to take part in this event, and it's very nice to meet you all. Today, I'm going to talk about the CO2 impact of digital advertising. What does this mean for you? But before going into details, just let me give you a short background. So SeenThis, it's a Swedish tech company of origin, which has been in the market now for about 6 years. And 6 years ago, we solved a big problem when we introduced the fastest and lightest video player to the market, making it possible to stream your creatives in full HD without having to compress your files, regardless of the original file size. And hereby, we remove the file size limitations. And we're also becoming the standard when it comes to streaming video ads and images, moving away from the traditional download technology, which is commonly used today. So just to clarify, SeenThis, it's a streaming technology, making it possible for you to run your HD creatives, whether that is a video or image, into any display ad space on any platform, either programmatic or IO in-app or through third-party vendors. So that the performance aspects are great. You will increase your performance while providing a quality that is unmatched by anyone else. While doing so, you are reducing your CO2 footprint on behalf of your clients or on behalf of your brand. Now, let's look at what's happened over the last 12 to 18 months. So we've known for a long time that we've had something special. If you just look at the weight of our player, it only weighs 6 kilobytes. That means nothing. There is no weight associated to our player. We also know that we deliver data very effectively, and we know this because we see increase in performance by the fact that our ads are loading a lot faster and streaming the millisecond an ads is in screen. So you're not losing any views due to traditional heavy downloads. And because of this, we've already known that our technology is a very lightning speed technology, delivering creative assets into the internet. Let's take a step back and look at what's going on for the last 18 months. So in November 2021, that marked the start of our industry's focus on sustainability. This during COP26 and AdNet Zero conference. At this conference, there was a lot of focus on what media agencies were doing on recycling. So for example, we are reducing usage of plastic in our canteen. We are having our employees bike to work instead of ride to work. So we're doing a lot of physical changes, which is good for the environment in order to try to decrease our footprint. These issues were being focused on at that time, but nobody was talking about the impact of their actual advertising on the internet. Now, 12 months later, at COP27 in 2022, there was a huge shift in focus. So the footprint calculators had been launched, like Scope 3 and Impact Plus, and a lot of companies were now measuring the impact of a digital campaign. OpenX and ExchangeWire did studies where 92% of the clients highlighted that sustainability metrics are important and that they are focused on it. And McKinsey did surveys saying that up until now, sustainability has been seen as a cost, and now clients are seeing it as an opportunity. And then we're saying that now we need to shift focus on measuring the CO2 footprint to actual reducing it. In 2021, we started working with consultant companies that were telling us that, did you realize that your technology is using a lot less data than traditional technology in delivering assets? So based on this, we started doing a lot of research in the area. We worked with now the number 1 and number 2 global experts out of Sweden on the internet and energy consumed by the internet. And we worked with KTH and Chalmers, which are universities and about 20 other experts in the field, including Ericsson and Nokia, to find out what is the effect on advertising on the internet and what is the effect of streaming versus downloading in the matter of data usage. So we're still working very closely with them, continuously trying to build more research around the area. So how is the internet polluting the environment and what can we do about it? So we cannot grade our own homework. So we have worked with a neutral partner called The Economy, who is a part of UN, World Wildlife Fund, MasterCard, and Parley, and is now our sustainability partner. And they have validated our research on data usage in the internet. And their technique has been validated again by Ernst & Young and PwC. So the data savings that we are showing are validated and verified and can be put into any annual report on sustainability of any of your clients. In addition to this, we are working with Impact Plus and Scope 3, and we are also on IAB's Europe's Climates Committee in their work on looking at the entire display digital space on the sustainability matters. And just for those who are interested in reading more about our validation partner, The Economy, here's a bit more information. And this is also our stamp of approval and our validation from a third party. Today, SeenThis reduced between 25% and 35% of data. And now with new releases coming in the beginning of Q2, we should be able to reduce the data with 50% or more going forward. But even though we know that we reduced the amount of data from the last mile, so from the ad serving, there's a lot more to do. And because of that, we are also working with Google, Fastly, who's our CDN, and Amazon to see how much further in the supply chain we can go to reduce even more data before it turns in through the ad server. Now, we are working with the entire supply chain because we also have a mission. And that mission is to reduce the overall footprint of the internet. I know it's a big goal, but we have started the journey. So let's look at the challenge. What challenge are we facing today? The challenge today is that the internet stands for about 2% of the total global CO2 emission. So the energy needed to run the internet is a massive polluter. 2% is the same as the entire aviation, the airline industry, how much they are emitting. There's so much focus on flying that it's bad for the environment. But here comes a fact. If you watch Netflix, for example, and have watched House of Cards, the entire series, you alone have emitted as much CO2 as a round-trip ticket from Stockholm to Singapore. So in addition to say stop flying, you can say stop watching Netflix. So it's a massive element, a massive overall part of the pollution is coming from the internet. Now, of this pollution, 30% is coming from the data transfer, what you guys are working with every day, serving of ads. All data transfer is 30% of the total emissions from the internet. It's massive. Now, bringing this back into our business in the digital display ad industry, we are together emitting 60 million tons of CO2 a year. That is the same as 45 million passenger cars on the road for a full year, or 2,000 billion plastic bags. So it's up to all of us together to try to decrease the number of CO2. And we are already doing it with you guys. You are already decreasing CO2 just by the work we are doing together already. If you look at the internet, there are 5 sources where energy needs to be used, right? So you have the data centers, the hosting of the servers. You have the core networks where the cables and the fibers. You have the content delivery networks where the content is being sent from. Then you need electricity, of course, to drive the access networks, the mobile masts, etc. And at the end, our use of smartphones and computers is using energy. This energy is part of the total amount of emissions coming from the internet. Now, through our research, we have also found that we that we are estimating that one gigabyte of data equals 1 kilogram of CO2. So this is an estimate from us, which is based on research. Now we guarantee the data savings, but if you have a client that has their own research on how many kilograms of CO2 is per 1 gigabyte of data, we're happy to use their numbers as well. So we are guaranteeing the data savings, and we are open to using your client's numbers if they are different than 1 kilogram. No matter what you set of the kilogram of CO2, it's still going to be a massive reduction. Okay, so what's going to happen? So now this is the really bad news for all of us Netflix lovers. For the next 7 years, the amount of data is going to increase by 40 times of what it is today. And this is driven by 3 primary areas. So video streaming is going to continue to explode. There's just more streaming services coming in, and everything is shifting towards video. The other thing is that there is more mobile internet infrastructure being set up than cable and fiber, because it's faster to set up a mobile internet infrastructure, and it's cheaper, but it demands more energy. And the third one is the consumer that is much higher expectations to quality and will not be happy or accept getting your content in a low quality anymore. Your ads are expected to be shown in HD quality. Anything below that is below their expectations. So the expectations for quality is also driving the need to use more energy to drive the internet. Now here comes the good news, because there are actually some good news. So there are things that are being done, luckily. The data centers are becoming more efficient. The infrastructure is being built out with faster processors and more intelligent data centers, meaning that they will be needing less energy to drive the data centers. We can also use green energy. The only problem is that Google has bought just about all green energy there is. So with a lack of supply, everyone else still going to use fossil fueled energy. And the third part is where we come in. We can reduce the amount of data being sent over the internet, and we can be a lot smarter about if and how our data should be sent. So this is where SeenThis comes in. How do we address this challenge? Well, you all might know SeenThis as an ad technology, but we're also streaming websites through our product SiteStream. And the third box is empty because we don't know yet what the next thing we're going to stream is. But what we do know is that by the end of the year, this box will be filled, and we will have found a way to stream other content or other information moving forward, which also helps to reduce the overall footprint of the internet. This is an example from the UK, from the Association of Online Publishers. So they said that we're a trade body. We need to be a good example. So they are now streaming their site with SeenThis technology. And by doing so, they reduced the amount of data by 65%. And more importantly, especially for commercial players, is that by streaming their sites, they improved the load time by 65% to 85%. For e-com players, this is a massive opportunity. This just shows that streaming is a better form of data transferring or content delivery than any other technology available. So what does this mean for you in your everyday work? So let's say you have a campaign of 100 million impressions. The ad weight is 2.5 megabytes, and it's a video. By just switching ad serving from traditional ad serving, for example, download to streaming, you will realize 25% less data being transferred, and you will lower your CO2 emissions by 8%, which in this case equals 16 tons lower CO2 emissions just on this campaign. So imagine what you as an agency or a brand can do as a whole. This is another example, and was for a static campaign, a global CPG brand. So they reduced their data with 83% and 25% lower CO2 emissions. Being a unique technology that nobody else is able to deliver globally, we're also being nominated for a lot of awards. And one of the awards that we're really proud of is the LVMH Global Innovation Award for Media and Brand Awareness, given to us during VivaTech in Paris last summer, received not only for improving their overall digital advertising performance, being able to deliver their creatives in the most efficient way, but also for proven the reduced CO2 footprint. This was out of 950 applicants globally. There were 21 finalists, and we won. This means that we now have offices at Station F in Paris working with all LVMH's brands globally. Now, we have talked a lot about the global situation, but what is actually going on and how are we reducing it? So here's the easy answer. There's two ways we're doing it. When we receive an asset from you, let's say you're sending us a video, we will separate all the data elements. For example, we will take the soundtrack and we will separate out the soundtrack. Now, if the user does not activate the sound, we're not streaming any data for that sound. If they do activate the sound, then we'll send the soundtrack. If you send us a video with a lot of white background, we will remove all the unnecessary pixels that are weighing down the ad. Still keeping HD quality, but we are basically only using the data that is needed to deliver HD quality, and we're removing everything else. So that's what we do first. We take the file, separate the data, and we only keep what we need. Once that ad runs from your ad server and is live, it does not start playing until it's in screen. That means that no data is being transferred until the ad is being seen. When you work with other technologies, as soon as you have a call to the ad server, the entire file of data is downloaded, regardless of it's seen or not seen, if it's a static ad or a video ad. And you cannot stop a download once it has started. So this is a massive data waste on ads that are never seen. So let's say that the ads start when it's in screen and we transfer data as long as they are watching the video. And as soon as you scroll out, the data transfer will stop. So we're only using data when an ad is actually being seen and not when it's scrolled out. Those two combined is how we're being able to reduce data dramatically on all your campaigns. Now we have a global launch coming up shortly, which is very exciting. So you are having a dashboard today showing the video metrics, view rates, completed views, video starts, quartiles, and the average time per second per format. This you already have from us. Within a few weeks, we will launch our global ESG sustainability dashboard. Seeing the same thing, you can now see every single campaign and format, how much data that particular campaign is using, how much data is being reduced because you are streaming, and how this equals CO2 savings. So after every campaign, you can provide your clients with an overview of the total CO2 footprint that was reduced. And with that, thank you very much.